Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Life After Kids with Doctors Brooke and Lynne. I'm Dr. Brooke.
And I'm Dr. Lynne.
And we're so glad you're here today.
Yay. We're in the throes of Christmas, and it's time to rethink holidays, I think. We're in midlife, our kids are getting older. That's changing, and I think it's time to have a discussion around letting go of some of the ways that holidays used to look and embracing the new way and, purposely bringing in some new traditions.
Yes, I love this conversation, and it's a great one to have, especially my background here is that I grew up in a family
She's the
where
traditionalist.
Super traditional. I've said this before. I tend to like to hold on to my traditions and my little rituals and things.
Great thing.
Which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing, as my kids are getting older now, I grew up in a family where the holidays were big. We did the same things all the time. We were at home in the house. It was very traditional. Christmas is around the fire, all of that stuff, which was fabulous. And I, carried that on with the kids. We've always done that. But, now my kids are getting older, and I'm stereotyping here a little bit, but I have 3 boys. So I do think a lot about, are they going to end up, if they're married, are they going to, how much am I going to see, what's that going to look like? So how do we start to redefine? And not only that, regardless of whether you have boys or girls at home, they're getting older. And so, they might be now wanting to go and do the trip with their friends or, the trip with the person they're dating, or, you might not be seeing as much of them.
Yeah.
So how do we rethink that stuff?
There's a good conversation around boys and girls with that, because some of your thoughts are probably thinking, what will that look like when they marry? But I've always thought that the happier and the more welcoming you make your home, the more your kids will want to come back. So I will say that's where traditions really can work in your favor for that, for moms.
Well, yeah, if there's something, that's true.
Pull of that for kids coming home. And
if there's something that they're used to and that they really look forward to, then it's a reason for them to come home to it. That's true.
Yeah. So us on the other side, our family never lived close or too close to us, and there was just 3 of us living at home. Jordan didn't live with us always. Mostly he was old enough to live on his own by the time that Lila came along. So we incorporated very early on a non-traditional, and it was because I think I was a little bit sad to sit home, the 3 of us, and so we wanted to go and be with family, and that meant travel, or go and do an experience that would leave us with some memories, and all 3 of us are kind of go-getters, and so a Christmas day of an amusement park or being on the beach, that was always really appealing to us. We, in fact, never have had a Christmas at home. Now, you might call me a bad mother for this, but it's just the way that it's washed out.
I
know. We never had a Christmas morning in our home since Lila was born, or even before that.
Did I don't even know if I knew that.
Yeah, truly.
I mean, I guess,
never.
Yeah, now that I think of it, it makes sense. But I guess I thought before you started doing, and you could talk about your Florida thing, but you would go to Newfoundland.
Yes. Yep.
To be with family.
And before that, it really all started because Jordan was younger and we had to travel to see him because it was easier. We wanted to make it easier on him, and he was with his mom and stepdad on Christmas, one part of either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and so we took each of those days. So we would go to be with him and stay with Mark's family on Christmas, so that we could alternate the time, and he could see, Jordan could see Mark's family and spend time with Mark's grandparents. So, and then from there, when he got old enough to where he would be, not with us on Christmas, it was okay for maybe either he was doing his own thing, then we decided we wanted to go see my family. We did that for several years, and then it turned into Florida, because then it was kind of well, it's going to be weird to be home on Christmas.
Now we don't want to be home because we never have been. And by the way, she's talking about Jordan's her stepson, so he's a little bit older. So that's, the timing of that worked out for you guys.
Yeah, and now we have the grandbabies. He's got 3 little ones.
Yes, and now you're doing that for the holidays. So holidays are looking a little different.
Changing for us.
Yeah. So tell them, because I love what you guys have been doing, and you got us on, the Stillwells came in on the action, the Christmas day that you guys have done for years, that is just so much fun and definitely outside of the box. So tell them about it.
So before I do, we don't not have any of the traditions. So with Jordan's family, we'll pick a day, it's sometime in mid-December, where we have the tree and the gifts and the presents and the big meal. but we don't do it on Christmas Day. And everybody actually loves that. It's fun to do that before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then we've been traveling, and for Christmas Day for the last several years, we've been doing an amusement park. We picked Universal. That's the one that has been the most fun for us.
Yeah.
And we go there and spend all day and have a nice meal in the middle of the day, and maybe a glass of champagne and celebrate Christmas together. But we'll ride rides and do fun things like that. And you guys have been able to join us for the last 2 years.
Oh my gosh. And I'm telling you, like, we had so much fun. And my boys kind of were not happy about it because they're so used to traditional. And we're on the flip side. There's maybe 2 or 3 times that we've traveled once we left Pennsylvania, where my family's from. Once we were out of there, we drew a line that we wanted to be in the house with our kids, which is, you're not doing it wrong, I'm not doing it wrong. It's just the way that we did things. So they were like, we're not going, like, we have to have Christmas at home. We've got to be around our tree and the this and the that. But we had so much fun. And I'll never forget, the way you curate things is you're just so good at it. Like, you get to the park, you have this nice lunch and have a drink, and then you're riding rides, and then you have a nice dinner in the park. And
we have our tradition around our non-tradition.
Our non-tradition, it's true. And coming out of that restaurant the first time we did it, it was evening, and we walked out of there, and everything was lit up. I remember we were running ride to ride because it was very quiet there. Like, there wasn't a lot of people, so we were just running around, Christmas carols blasting. We were singing. Everything was lit. I mean, I get chills thinking about
skipping.
it. I think we were skipping. All of us, the kids, the husbands, all of us. And it really was, it was wonderful.
Yeah, because Christmas can be a very, very expensive time to travel because more and more people are doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
But Christmas Day is a great day to take advantage of at least not having crowds, because a lot of people will skip out and do the family things on that day. So I say, why can't you celebrate Christmas the way you would on the 25th? Do it on the 23rd or the 27th. Why does it, obviously for religious reasons, we recognize that day and it's important. We can still do that.
Yeah.
But as far as the Christmas traditions, the modern day Christmas traditions, those can be, I say, why not?
Yeah.
Mix it up.
Well, we had, I think it was last year, Ken and I were out having dinner with another couple, and we were saying that we were going to Florida and that we were going to, have our Christmas with you at the park. And the woman that was there was like, how's that working for you? And I was like, well, the kids gave a little pushback, what I just said here. And she's like, I can't even wrap my brain around, like, it's just been years and years and years of me hosting Christmas, and my family comes and his family comes and everyone's there and it's all on me, and like our kids have had a great time, but like that actually sounds really refreshing.
And for you to say that you guys had a fun time and like actually made some really good memories coming off of all the years of tradition, that just goes to show that change is not always bad, and it can be a good thing.
Yeah, and I think it's great, and it even got her thinking, and this is a good conversation to have, because maybe it is time to change it up. Maybe you want to have, I will say the thing about doing it a little non-traditionally, being out, I wasn't in the kitchen cooking, I wasn't in the kitchen cleaning up, so there's that piece of it, which is kind of nice. And we had a lot of, once again, forced family fun, because we were all there together, we were all riding together, we were all talking in between, the kids, so that's a really great thing. Yeah,
so going back to us with, feeling, again, from being around people on Christmas Day, family first in their homes for so many years, and then looking into a situation where we would be home by ourselves, having that feel lonely. We're now talking to you with many of you having your kids marry and move on, and maybe they have to alternate holidays or they've moved away, and you're facing possibly a lonely holiday. So my advice is to go do something active, leave your home, because you have all 364 other days to be at your home, and maybe on that day it would be just a little bit sad or lonely. So just don't, skip that by going somewhere and doing something different, and that can really help.
Yes, I think that's a good conversation, and it's a good thought. And I'm thinking about this too. Take away the comment I made earlier about, they're boys, and are they going to end up with their spouses, like spend more time there? In general, regardless of boy, girl, they're getting older. and they're going to start their own families, and they might want to be the ones that are in their home with their family, and you might not live near them. Like, so kind of, you know, my kids, I fully expect them, they may end up in different parts of the country. So I'm really starting to think now, like, okay, like Ken and I have to really be mindful of working on our relationship and really enjoying each other. And B, let's not be sad about it, but let's rewrite that script. Like, what is the potential? What are the fun things we can do?
Yeah. Where's
for
the
the holidays? Or
because we don't have 7 people to try to incorporate. There's only 2 of us, and that leaves all of these options open. And how can we embrace that and make the best of it?
Yeah, I think it's really flipping the script and just choosing a different narrative, right?
Yeah,
you can choose to see it either way.
That's exactly right. We always have a choice.
Yep.
And I mean, and it's okay to feel sad. It is changing. And I think we talk about nostalgia, and I love to sit down and think about Christmases past and how it was. And but at the same time, we're creating those memories this year for 20 years in the future. And so, you know, change it up. Give yourself a memorable Christmas, something different that you'll always remember the Christmas of 22 for good reasons.
Yeah, I love it.
You know?
So good. Guys, I hope you're holding on tight and finding some periods of relax and restoration during this crazy season.
Self-care.
Yes, thank you so much for being with us. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media channels. And you can get us on the website at www.lifeafterkids.com.
We appreciate you.
We sure do. Have a good one.